Hey guys, it's Chelsea Kirby coming to you from mysanfrancisco.tv. Today we're talking with Josh Hayes about his upcoming documentary. How's it going, Josh?
It's going good, Chelsea. I'm glad to be able to speak to the people of mysanfrancisco.tv.
Absolutely. Cool. So we're hearing a lot of buzz about this upcoming documentary you have coming out. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, sure. I can give you the basic info. The documentary is about homelessness and homeless people in America. It's called Bums, semicolon, the story of America's invisible class, right? Bums for short. You can check it out at Bums the Movie, www.bumsthemovie.com, right? And yeah, I mean, that's basically like what it is. It's an analysis of why we have so much homelessness in America. We're the richest country in the world, but we have arguably the worst problem with homelessness that there is. And so it's kind of an interesting thing to try to figure out, you know, and we had a lot of questions about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're really looking forward to seeing it. It sounds really interesting. What provoked you to create this type of film?
Well, it's funny. It happened one day. I was doing some photography, and because I've been a cameraman and photographer and stuff for years, and I like shooting people more than like pretty wildflowers and things like that. Even though that's fun, and if that's what you do, cool. And I was shooting this homeless person, and we sat down, and I didn't want to be insulting by like just shooting him, so I was sitting down and just talking with him, and we were bullshitting. And he was just super interesting, and he had like his take on the world was interesting, and I just kind of wondered completely what had put him there, and I just wanted to like tell his story, you know what I'm saying? And so then I was just like, well, and then it kind of got me going, like, well, you know, I know I've seen it on like the local news, but I've never really seen anybody attack homelessness, and like, so the basic questions started being like, where does homelessness come from, right? Like, it's literally like, you know, where did it come from? Has it always been like this for 100 years, or is it worse now? Is it better? You know, and then stuff like, you know, what's being done about it that works? Is anything being done that really works, or is it just a problem that keeps swelling? It seems to be getting worse, and it is. You know, what can be done? Can anything be done? And so the main goal was to approach it with an open mind, not try to push like a liberal or conservative agenda on it, but just keep it real. You know what I mean? Like, let the story tell itself. It's a super fucking interesting story, and we've answered all those questions actually. So even though we're only about halfway through the film, like, we've done our research. We know exactly where homelessness came from, what's being done that actually does work, how we can spend less money and like cut homelessness probably in half in 5 years. Just amazing stuff. And then to hear these stories are so intense and sad and amazing, and I mean, just it's all over the place. It's crazy. So.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you're really digging deep into some really important issues.
We are. We're trying. We're trying. I mean, that's all we can do.
Yeah, that's great. So we also hear that you have some interesting, unique sponsors for this film. So
Yeah.
tell us about that.
People always hear about that. So the way I teach video production too at a local college here called Bayback, and one of the things I tell people when we're talking about sponsorship, when we do it real briefly, is I say, if you can, start with sponsors that like you like and respect. Like, you know what I mean? So if you like to run every day and your shoes New Balance, talk to New Balance. You know what I mean? If it's a local music store like Amoeba in San Francisco that you go talk to Amoeba. And so for me, I wanted to approach what I call my community, the hardcore community, right? And hardcore community is kind of a blanket term for like skateboarders, like, you know, like hip hop artists, like snowboarders, tattoo artists, you know what I mean? Like that whole, I guess, Generation X. I'm not really sure how to classify it, but punk rockers, you know, the whole community, all the bands. And I wanted to reach out to my own community, you know, because I know from growing up and getting in all kinds of trouble and all this that people just don't expect us to want to give a shit about society, but we do care. Like, we actually do give a fuck, and we want to make the world a better place too. But nobody ever really comes to us to ask us about it, you know, or to ask for help. And so the first company that I approached was an MMA company called Tap Out, because I've gone back and forth over the years with the CEO, who's a really cool dude, and I hit him up and I just approached him and I was like, look, dude, you know, I don't know if you get requests like this or not, but da da da. And we started rapping, and Tap Out stepped up to finance the film.
Wow.
Yeah, so like the first 25% of the film was financed by Tap Out because they believed in the cause and trying to make the world a better place and doing it one step at a time, you know? And so from there on out, we've started approaching other people, and you know, we're like gonna go to strip clubs, you know what I mean, tattoo shops, you know, like snowboard companies, like, you know, our own people. Like, you know, we really do care, and we really do want to make a difference. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if you own a strip club, if you own a tattoo shop, if you're a skateboarder, snowboarder, whatever, hip hop artist, we're gonna be trying to knock on your door. So hopefully you see us, because we could use some help with this film. It's a grassroots film, you know. Yeah. It's really from the ground up, you know.
And it's for a good cause. So.
Yeah, and it's for a good cause. We're trying to make the world a better place, you know. And that's not really a cliche. Like, you really can do that, you know. And people like us do care, even if we're covered in tattoos, even if we've gotten in trouble or still do get in trouble. So I want to reach out to my own community, basically.
That's awesome. Well, we wish you a lot of luck with the film, and we can't wait to see it.
Cool.
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks a lot, Chelsea. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.